So I think it's really important that when a patient comes to see a doctor about facial feminization, that just like I need to have certain answers, they need to have certain answers. And those answers are trained in craniofacial surgery. What was your training in facial feminization? Because chances are there was no training in facial feminization. Now, do you need to train it for everything you do in life? Maybe not, but there's certain things probably you do need to have a little more than just passive knowledge about if you're going to do the job that you want to get as a patient. It's your body, and you better go to the right person or you're liable to be back for a second revision.
Right.
Be back for a revision.
I absolutely agree. We saw this years ago in craniofacial surgery. And so many surgeons would go to a weekend course or read a chapter in a book or an article from last month and pronounce themselves craniofacial surgeons, and then all sorts of problems were created. So the patient needs to be meticulous about finding, getting the documentation of their surgeon's training. Where did you train? How did you train? What do you know?
How many cases have you done?
How many cases have you done this week?
And it's not how many cases you did because, I've done something less than 50. Well, something less than 50 is also one.
But it's also zero.
It's also zero.
One thing there's this old adage in surgery, the see one, do one, teach one, and I think that's totally off. Like, I think it's like, see 50, do 100, and then you might be capable of showing somebody else how to do it by that point. But there's an awful lot of pattern recognition. You can't get it from a lecture. You can't get it from attending a meeting and seeing a panel. You can't really get it from just standing over somebody's shoulder and watching them do it 2 or 3 times. Now, if somebody who did a lot of craniofacial surgery went to watch Paul Tessier do some craniofacial surgery, they might be like, oh, that's a great trick for that particular thing, and then be able to take that and use it, right?
But absolutely.
You'd already have to know what you're doing, and then you'd be like, oh my God, how did I not think of that cool little trick? Then that sort of situation you can learn from seeing something.
But you get the basic training beforehand, or you've had probably the operations, done the operations beforehand.
Right, you've got to have the foundation to put that on for the trick to even make sense to you. Yep. So there's just a lot of preparation and not only understanding the statistics, the millimeter difference here and there between the male and the female, but the aesthetics of it. And that's one of the things that Jordan was very good at, was understanding what's the difference between beauty and ho-hum, and how do you blend those things together. And we see that in his results.